Hi and welcome to my channel, Shades of Sage, where I share all things motherhood. I'm a doula and mom of 4, and today I'm back with another video. So this one was actually requested after my last video that I did about the things that I refuse to buy as a mom of 4. So for today I'm going to share the things that I absolutely love, that I feel like I cannot do or I cannot live without for that first year of life, that I just love for myself and for my children also. So without further ado, let's get started. First thing that I absolutely cannot live without and that I have utilized for all 4 children is my boppy pillow. So if you are a fellow breastfeeding mom out there, I cannot overemphasize enough just how important that the correct positioning is when you're breastfeeding. And also if you're exclusively breastfeeding mom like I am, you spend a lot of time in a breastfeeding position. And so your back can really suffer, your neck can really suffer. And that's why I just love the boppy, because it brings the baby up to you instead of you hunching over all the time to the baby. And it really, really helps, especially when your baby's like a newborn or an infant. And of course they don't have all that motor control, and it's a little bit harder because they're smaller and just all the things that go with having a newborn. And my boppy pillow has been just invaluable to me. Like, I've used it for all 4 children. I actually have 2 of them. I have one that someone bought for me. I bought it when I had Saya, or even before I had Saya, and so I still have my original boppy pillow from when Saya was born 6 years ago. And then my mom bought me a new boppy pillow last year, or when I gave birth to Asa. So I have 2 boppy pillows. I love the boppy pillow. And also the boppy pillow is multi-use, so you can use it behind your back if you need like help and support sitting up. So at one point I was using my boppy for breastfeeding, and for that, and another good way, or another good use for the boppy pillow for me was when I had my vaginal burst and I tore for both of those bursts. I was able to sit on it, so it's like the perfect positioning, kind of like a hemorrhoids pillow. But yeah, I love the boppy pillow, and that is like one of the things I use through infancy and that whole first year and beyond. I love the boppy pillow. The next baby item that I love so much, and I absolutely cannot do without, is my wrap. So if you've been watching me for a while, you've seen probably me and pictures of with my wrap, or even tutorials on how to wrap them and how to place baby in them. I love the soft carrying wrap. Now with my first, I had the harder wrap, or like the hard carrier wrap, and I use that a lot because I walk a lot, and I just love my baby being on me, especially when we're out in like public settings and stuff, and I don't want anyone to touch my baby, or I don't want anyone else holding the baby, or I want to be hands-free and do things around the house. Like, the wrap has just been so clutch for me. So I had the hard one with her. I had a few of them, I think, actually. So when I had Kenzo, that's when I bought the soft baby wrap, and I have not looked back since, and I love it so much. It's really nice and comfortable for me. It's comfortable for the baby. They fall asleep easily in there, and then of course I'm able to be hands-free around the house to do whatever I need to do. And it's great also, like, if you love to walk like I do, and it's just, I love it so much. So I definitely highly recommend that if you're a mom, if you're pregnant, if you have like a little baby. And I even still use mine. I actually just put Asa in his on, or back in the wrap on Sunday, and he's almost a year. So it's good for, or at least the one I have, is good for up to like 40-ish pounds or so. So, and it's a lot of fabric. So I just love it so much. I think it's such a great buy, and it's inexpensive too. Like, the wrap I bought, when I bought it, was only $20. So you can't beat that. And as valuable as it is, I've used it for 2 kids, and it's just been great. The material's great. It has no rips in it. It's machine washable. Like, I could go on and on about the soft carrier wrap that I have. I love it so much. I put it in my baby bag, and I do not leave home without it. So the next must-have item for me is a bassinet. Now, I know not everybody uses bassinets, and just because I think the thought is that they have a very short shelf life, which honestly they do. And I do co-sleep, so I co-slept with all of my children, and it is the easiest sleeping method for me. It gets me the most sleep while we're breastfeeding, especially in those early days when sleep deprivation is definitely kicking your butt as a new parent. But I do love it for like naps, and I love it for, it's just a safe place, I feel like, to put baby down when you're teaching them how to sleep independently, if you are co-sleeping like I do. And then I slowly introduce it for like nap time, and then for overnight sleep, you know, in between like breastfeeding sessions. So I love that it's small. I love that I can put it like really close to my bed and my baby is in arm's reach. So I love the bassinet. And then when my babies grow out of the bassinet, so if they're sitting up or they're bigger than the bassinet requires, or bigger than the bassinet allows them to be in there based on their size or their weight, then I move them to the crib. And I love my crib. Now this is another thing that I hear some parents talking about it being like a waste of money, but honestly, I have my crib that I bought when Saya was born, and almost all of the kids have used that crib, and I love it so much. My kids sleep really, really well in the crib, and I introduced that around like 4 months or so, and they stay in there until they're about 3. So that's just what I do. I love my crib. It is definitely a piece of furniture or a thing that I could not live without as a parent. And yeah, those two things are super, super important for me and for sleeping and just like getting babies to learn how to sleep on their own. I love the bassinet, and then once my babies grow out of the bassinet, the crib, I love it. I love the crib. I love the crib. And they sleep so well in the crib once I do introduce it. So my next must-have item, which I put this in one of my newborn essentials videos. So if you have not seen that video, it's a few years old now. You can definitely check it out. I will do my best to remember to link it above and below. But the next item is a portable changing pad. So, you know, when you're out and about in your, you need to change your baby, I just feel like that's the best thing to have. Now, I am at the point, for the most part, I change my baby in my lap if it's pee. Like if it's just, number one, I change my baby in my lap because I'm a germaphobe. Like I said before, I really don't like using public changing stations and changing tables. I mean, it's just no. It's just a no for me. But in the case that I have to, or if baby has pooped, then that's when my changing pad comes in. So I will put my changing pad down on whatever surface I need to, or if they have one of those changing, like one of those changing tables in a public bathroom, I put that down on it. And then that way my baby's laying on that. A lot of times places don't even have, like changing tables, or they have the changing tables and they don't have the liners. It's just always a mess. So I just always bring my changing pad with me. I have gone through maybe 5 changing pads. Of course, I have one for Saya. I have one with Matthias. And then I lost one and had to buy another one. And then I bought another one for Asa because I felt like he needed a new one. Because like I said, I'm a germaphobe. And even though you can wipe that material off, I just feel like after a year of having it, I would rather just buy a new one than, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. But I love the portable changing pads. That is another thing that I carry in my baby bag at all times. And of course, you have room for your diapers, for your wipes, for any kind of ointment that you may need to put on your baby. And if you have an older child, so say like you're potty training, of course you can put, pull-ups in there, and maybe like a change of underwears in there if your baby is, in that stage where they still may wet themselves in public and they need like an extra change of clothes. That zipper in the front is really, really handy for that. And I love the changing pads. So like I said, for the most part, like if I'm at home, I use my changing table, just because I gotta save my back. So I use my changing table. If it's pee, I just change in my lap. But if it's poop, or we're in public somewhere and I really just need to change the baby, I will use the changing pad. And that has been invaluable, again, because even if I'm somewhere where there isn't a changing table, which a lot of times, like I said, sometimes that is the case, I can lay it on the floor and change the baby on that, and then not have to worry about putting my baby down on the bare floor or like on a blanket or something like that. So that's something that I just love for that first year, while baby is in diapers or in pull-ups. So the next thing that I love for that first year of life, and this is for a little bit older baby, is the extra saucer. I love the extra saucer because, again, it's just one of those things that you could put baby in that's interactive. It keeps baby safe. So if you need to do things around the house, I know a lot of times, like as a new mom or as a parent of multiple kids, you just need to get things done, and sometimes baby just wants you to hold them. So I feel like the extra saucer is a good thing to put baby in, so that baby is confined but they're also entertained. It also helps them with their standing and like their balance, because you can put a baby in there before they're actually able to sit up, but they do have to have like head and neck control. So I love it so much. Asa is actually in his right now, because if he was not, he would be pulling the stand all over the living room. And again, it's just one of those things that really comes in handy. So like when I'm making dinner, or I need him to stay out of the kitchen, because he is mobile now, or I'm pouring hot pasta into the strainer, or I need to go take a shower real quick, I can put him in the extra saucer and know that he's safe, know that he's entertained, and know that he's fine, and I can go do whatever I need to do really quickly and then take him out. He really loves his. Like he can stay in there for about, how long can he stay in there? I think 30 minutes is about his max. But he really, really loves his. And I love getting ones that have like a whole bunch of different things on them. If you haven't seen my short, you can check that out where I showed him in an extra saucer when I first bought it for him, and he was so excited. I bought all of my kids in extra saucer, so I didn't really like reuse any of them, again, because they really get so dirty. Like sometimes your baby's in there and they have a blowout and they just totally destroy the seat cover part. So they all had their own extra saucer, and I love it. I definitely recommend it. I'm not really a fan that much of the jumping ones. I know kids do like to jump, but for some reason I just feel like they're not safe. I don't know. I could be totally wrong and off about that. So I get the ones where they can like sit in and turn around. This one goes around 360, so it can spin in there. And the actual toys on there are interchangeable too. Like you can move them to different locations. And then this one also turns into a top. So I try to get stuff that will grow with them. So yeah, when they're younger and they can't really move that much, it's nice for them to stand and build those muscles. And then as they get older, it's a little bit more interactive, and then he can use the top one there, and it's just really cool. I love them, and I have bought them for each and every child. So the last thing for this video that I absolutely could not live without, and again, this is for an older baby, but still that first year of life, is the walker. So not the walker that the baby sits in and actually rolls around in. That's actually not recommended by pediatricians, and I think I talked about that in another video, but I'm not sure. So I don't buy those, but the ones that I do really like are the ones that baby can push themselves. So I did a short on that also because I just bought Asa one. I bought that for all of my kids, and I feel like it helps them so much because it has 2 different settings on there. So like one setting is a little bit harder for them to push, and then of course as they learn how to walk and they learn how to push it around the house, you know, steadily, then you can change the setting where it's a little bit easier to push so they can go a little bit faster. And again, it's interactive, so the front on it, the front piece of it actually can come off, and you can place that on the floor and they can play with that, and then the other part they can use to walk with. And you know, it has a telephone on there, it has music buttons on there, it lights up, it talks to them, it does shapes and colors, and I just love it. It's something that I did buy, like again, with all 4 children. They all had this same walker, and I'm so glad that VTech is still selling this walker, because my heart would just be hurting if I could not find this walker for Asa. But I was able to find it on Amazon and bought it. I think previously though I bought it from like Target. It's super easy to find, it's super affordable, and I love it. I feel like it helps them so much with, you know, the beginning stages of walking and just building up their confidence and taking steps, you know, assisted, and then of course them walking unassisted after that. But again, the one that I have is interactive, so even after they have mastered walking and they know how to walk, they still can play with it and they still can use it and, you know, put their toys on it and drive them around the house, and all the kids still really love it. Like Saya will still even play with it now. So I love it. I think it's a great buy, it's a great purchase, and it's worth the money. So those are all of my must-haves for the first year of life, the things that I absolutely cannot do without. There are a couple other things that I used during that first year of life. A car seat, of course, an infant baby tub, because I'm not like a fan of washing a baby in the regular sink. So a couple of other things, but for the most part, the things that I listed in this video are my go-tos. Like I'm going to make sure that for every child they have those things, and it just makes life a little bit more easier for me as a mom of 4 children. So that is all that I have for you today. If you are a parent, or you have young kids, or if you're pregnant, share with me your must-haves for you and for your kids and for your family. I love just like comparing and seeing what other people are using, or maybe there's something that I have not discovered yet that I really would come in handy for me. So definitely make sure that you comment below. Thank you for watching today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to give me a great big thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.